When I first started out in Magic, one of my main influences was actually YouTube, which is kind of funny and ironic because, well, now I'm making videos on YouTube. And I think, of course, that's kind of self-explanatory because I learned in that way. It makes sense that I teach in that way. Now, that being said, I remember one experience in particular that actually led to my discovery of magic, and that is a video where a magician was controlling 4 aces within a pack of cards, and he was doing this in a kind of interesting way. You see, what he did is he started by placing each of the aces into the pack one at a time, and I was so mind-boggled because I could see that the cards were spaced evenly throughout the pack, and yet, with all that being said, all he had to do was push those cards in. And so when he showed that he was not holding a break in the side of the pack, and he showed that you could see that all the ways around, and then he proceeded to literally cut the pack up into multiple pieces, I had no clue as how he could be controlling the 4 aces. And he proceeded to show that he really had kept them perfectly under control. And he did this by a series of fancy moves. You may have seen things like it. He would like toss a card out of the center. He'd say, look, there's one of the cards like that. And he did this one where one would launch out of the pack. So just kind of like, oh, that one farther than I thought. But there you go. It is an ace. He even made one appear at his fingertips and launch out of the pack of cards. So for a long time, I was wondering, how did he do all of this? And so that's what we're going to cover today. If you're interested in learning how to control multiple aces, then stick through to the end. We're going to learn and reveal that. But before we do, it's important that we really understand the technique of the jog and go through all the various aspects that are involved, all the various versions that exist. Because, trust me, they're all going to be useful. It just depends on what situation you're in. So why did I decide to do this video? Well, it's actually because another YouTuber did a video on the jog, and he went into some real in-depth meat on the subject of one of the jogs. This is a jog that you can do with a few cards or a single card. It's not good for what I just demonstrated, but it is really interesting nonetheless. So if you'd like to learn a little bit more about that, I am going to leave a link at the end of the video to his video, because it's definitely a good video to watch, and he makes a lot of high-quality content. That being said, let's actually check out the moves. So basically, there are 3 main ways that you can get a jog. The first one is basically a really simple version using gravity and, of course, friction. See, by tilting forward, I've actually created a jog here. See, the reason's very simple. When I outset a portion of the pack above the rest, and then I let it slide, friction holds one of the cards out, so that if I come up with the thumb and I pull up, I can get a break right at that spot again. This is nice if you like cut to a random spot, let's say the 9 of clubs, and then you're going to place it in. You can set it like this, let it sit forward, and then now you can show the side with no break, but there is a jog. You just gotta hide it with your pinky. Now when you pull up, like so, you're boom, right back at that 9 of clubs. Now this is one of the easiest ways, and you can actually get multiple jogs if you wanted to this way. The only problem is they're not perfect, clean jogs, so you may not want to do it that way. That being said, if you are in a position to have a pinky break, you can actually get a jog in another way. You can pull it out from the bottom using the pinky, so you can kind of do this and get a jog there with the bottom card, or if you want, you can get a jog with the card that's top. So if I place the 3 of clubs down like this in a pinky break, I could use the pinky to kind of jog out that card like that. It's a very small one, but it's still a jog nonetheless, so we can get to it like that. And that's really nice. Now, the problem with both of these methods is a lot of times you're going to be placing cards in from the front yourself or with a spectator. And so if a spectator puts it in here and then you're going to push it in, or you push it in from the front, it's not as easy to get a jog or a pinky break behind here. And so it's actually much quicker and simpler to use this method, which allows you to do multiple cards at the same time as well. And that is to push the card in at an angle. Notice like this, you push it past just a little bit. So it's like that. Then as it's pushed past, you'll notice that the card sticks out like this. So that when I push the thumb through, like this, then we get a pattern with this card out-jogged at an angle. Now the nice thing is, the edge of the card comes past the thumb, when you do this so that it's easy to hold between both hands. But when you go to pick this hand up, as you pick it up or as you move it to the side, you're going to lift up the thumb like this, and that allows you to use the pinky to press this card in, and it will line it in the position of a jog, like that. But you're still hiding it with the front of your hand, like this from the front, as your thumb comes up. This way, as you take the thumb away, you already have the pinky covering that card so that they can't see that you have a jog from the side. It's obvious that you don't have a break, and you're ready to, either remove that card, which this is kind of the cool thing. You can actually just grab the card when it's a perfect jog like that and pull it out, or you can of course pick it up at that spot, whatever you want to do. So if you're doing this with multiple cards, let's say the 4 aces, you can actually combine these as one move where they all go in together. You pull in at an angle, you push the thumb against the little angle there, and then you're going to pull the pinky in and jog all of them at the same time. Now I left it a little larger than I normally would, just so you could easily see this. This is easy to see for this, but I would recommend trying to get the jog right about there, okay? This way it's easy to hide with the pinky, they're not gonna see it from the front, and it's easy to grab with the fingers when you come over. Because now, once you kind of show it like this, all right, or like this, whatever you wanna do to your audience, then what you're going to do is you're going to come over and grab all of those as you pull this back. So they can't see them. You're going to grab them all at the same time. You're going to pull them out together. It's going to look like they're coming from the bottom. And as you do, you're going to swing them over the top, slam them down. All right, over the top, slam them down. Because now you're going to pull a small packet of cards from the bottom of the pack, pull them over the top, slam them down. Small packet from the bottom of the deck, over the top, slam it down. Small packet from the bottom, over the top, slam it down. Bam. The reason why is because now you have actually kept the entire deck in the same order while creating the illusion of mixing them up and cutting them. And because you use a bunch of small packets, it's not suspicious that the first packet is small as well, so they're not going to realize that you've moved the 4 aces to the bottom. Now you can proceed to do any fancy method that you want of revealing the cards. Whether you want to shoot a card out, whether you want to cut the deck and do something, whatever method you want to use to reveal a card, well, I guess that isn't the right one, to reveal a card, you can do. So just keep that in mind. So it's super convenient. These are the main ways for obtaining a jog. I recommend learning it if you're serious about the art of card magic, because genuinely, these are some of the most important moves that you can learn and will allow you to be a real master at the art. Thanks for watching. If you like this video and you like what I do, then please check out Elite Magic Academy website. It's linked down below. There's all sorts of cool merch there, and that's where majority of my videos are going to be. And if you're watching this, you may already be a part of the Elite Magic Academy Club, because I send this information out as a part of that. So this is going to be a part of the whole series on that. So if you really want to get updates and everything like that, be sure to join the email list. If you join that email list or the Elite Magic Academy Club, then you're going to get lots of awesome information and resources on magic, live events, and things like that. Thanks for your time, and I'll see you again soon.